Yo, I'm here.
Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, three strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters.
Doing good.
Do that? I have the right tools
Leanna.
for the job.
There we go.
We are good. I think we're good. So,
Just you and me tonight?
only if Tim comes on.
Okay.
So, yep.
Yep. No worries. We can probably talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm so deep into page prep here. I'm prepping my seminar and slides and
that's good.
everything. So, yep. Let's see here. There we go.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our Great Dragon encounter. If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set Encounter live now on Kickstarter. POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our Great Dragon encounter.
Yeah, that's no fun.
If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set Encounter live now on Kickstarter.
But you're on top of it, Draga here. Yep. Yep. See, there you go. Yep.
I didn't set it up yet. Give me a sec here. There we go. 1 second. Okay. All right. Late start, but that's all good. How's everyone doing? How you doing, Anna? I don't know if
Yeah,
Tim's coming on or not,
yeah, we'll see. Yep.
but we got a
Yeah.
fun one tonight here. So we'll see
I've been
where.
deep into page prep here, so
Oh
yeah, for
yeah,
my seminar and stuff. So yep.
yeah. I got a lot to do tomorrow and Tuesday. Don't know if Tim. Tim hasn't responded all day, so I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
I'm so busy with other stuff tomorrow and other life for
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit tomorrow and Tuesday. So
And then we got a
people are,
meeting. Then we got a meeting tomorrow night too.
yeah, that
Yeah.
too. Yep.
Yeah. So if Tim shows up, he shows up. We'll see. So that's why he's ever mysterious. But Demons Devils is supernatural. I figured I'm doing a lot of that in my games on Saturdays. I figured why not talk about it, So and getting more and more sources for that. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself like and the one thing I was well, like we all know that there's a hierarchy when it comes to the infernals, right? You have your least lessers, mids, graders, and all, and your lords and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I know all the ones that are in the Monster Manual, Monster Manual 2, Fiend Folio, which there's very few in that one, but I can always add stuff too, right? You know what I mean? That's it. So I found some new sources that I've been using lately. Some other adventures recommended, and maybe we'll go over some of that tonight and give some ideas. Yeah, Cube is supposed to be at Page. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they got the game show on Friday night. Oh, by the way, did you see? I got to share this first.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have to share this. I forgot. This is
Yeah, you're early, so that's no problem. Yep.
yeah. Well, late early. So
Yeah, early, late, or late, early, depending on how you see it.
let
So
me
yeah.
let me. I'm hoping this is on Page's page here. I really do. And it wasn't on Ron's post here. Let me make sure I don't hit. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. That wasn't switched over. Yay! 1 sec. Page 2, display 2. There we go. I'm also hearing sound from something. All right. Okay, here it is. Behold, the Page
Yeah,
Street. Yes.
yeah.
Selfie scavenger hunt.
Yeah, so how I saw the email, but I didn't read it through. What the heck is this?
Okay, so here we go.
It's something about guests, and
Well,
I
just
was like,
wait, just
uh-oh.
wait. Yes.
Okay.
Post photos to the Page Facebook group utilizing the QR code. Photos must contain you as well as the subject matter noted above. Use hashtag Page SSH when posting photos. Use of photo editing software image filters is prohibited, strictly prohibited. Photos should be posted by 7 p.m. ET on Sunday, January 18th. A participant who posts the most complete group of photos, this is a selfie scavenger hunt, right? Will be
Now
eligible to
I'm
win a
starting to get it.
lifetime gold badge. So here are the
Ooh.
people or things that you can post with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've all seen this, but here we go. So yeah. Yep, and look, so Frank Mentzer's on there, Philly Cheesesteak, Mel Rasmussen, Stefan
So Philly
Picorni,
cheesesteak
Kelsey.
is that big sign they have next to the autograph
I
booth or
guess
something?
so. I
Yeah,
guess
I
I'm not
think
gonna
so. They have
play
the
this.
logo for the con and stuff. Yeah.
Albert, Charity Game Auction, Bob the World Builder. Oh no, Harold Johnson. Oh no, look who's here, Lord Gazumba.
Oh, you were there.
Oh my God.
You will get people pestering you the whole
Oh
weekend.
my
Yeah.
God. Jeez. Isn't that great? Now I got it. We'll see how many. Chuck's on here too, so it serves him right. So Chuck is on here as well. I don't see you, Anna.
Oh, good. I can be in obscurity a bit. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Troller Games is on here too. Page interview booth. I guess you're gonna go all around. There's people, places, and things on here. Yeah, yeah, I ain't doing autographs, Bill, just like again this year. But like, I'll let them if people want to take selfies, fine, no problem. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm on the target, and I saw come across my feed, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm like, oh God, I'm
Hmm.
in it. So there you go. Yeah, wanted poster. So you're gonna be BattleTech is on here too. That's interesting. Order of the Amber Die. So hey, whatever. Take your pictures. Yeah. I almost want to sing, and you got to be a Philly person to know this, but I just want to start singing "Send Your Pictures" or "Dear Old Captain Noah" song when we were kids. So if you know, any of you know about that, probably only if you're a Philly person.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's beyond me.
yeah. So let's see here. Um, something I've always wanted: could fiends get promoted to different species? Like in a rock, once you become a pit fiend. Ah, I didn't see it, Doc. I'm sorry. Um. Hmm. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't see why not, but I don't know how much like they can get promoted up, you know? It's something I haven't thought about,
I I have it that they don't get promoted; they
right?
kill themselves upwards, so to speak. It's like they level up. It's
Okay.
like the more they can kill and conquer, and it's ruthless. You simply fight your way to the top. It's like it's
Okay.
politics with no rules, no regulations on the demonic side. On the fiendish side, or sorry, the hellish side of things, then it is that then you need to do it in a way that is socially accepted down there, so to speak. If you do
Okay.
it in and I have it more like you need to do it openly and you face it. If you can face down and kill someone and show that you're stronger, then you're worthy of leading. But if you do it in so you someone need to know. If you just do it in secret, then you break the rule. They have rules, so to speak. So you need to make sure that the you break them in a way that you can be seen. So if you challenge someone and then kill someone from the openly,
Interesting.
or you manage to yeah, so it's not fair by any means, but you
Right.
need to be seen as they have the veneer of that, so to speak. It's more like a ritual than
Okay.
anything.
Fair
And I have
enough.
it that the in the abyss anything goes, so to speak. You simply, if you need to hold on to whatever you can, and if you can't defend it, someone else will take it. There's no rules
Yeah.
whatsoever. You literally have to defend you, and everybody simply looks at everybody else, and if they think they're able to get away with it, they will take the chance of ruthlessly killing off everybody. Meaning, if you're not useful, you are useful at least as food or something. Yeah. I think there's two ways of surviving in the abyss. Either you're strong enough to climb your way steadily upwards and smart enough to stay out of the way from the ones that are stronger than you, or you are simply so obscure that no one takes notice of you, and you just the bottom feeders, so to speak.
Okay.
And that's something we should talk about later on during this show too, because I think there's more than the big named ones and the ones we recognize. I think there's more of an ecosystem out there.
And we want to not go into planescape realms as much. We want to just to pertain to what you're doing in your Greyhawk
Well,
campaign
I
too.
want to say that
Mhm.
Planescape is one way you can look at this, meaning you
Right.
can take the outer planes, meaning this is cosmology and it's
Hmm.
fantasy cosmology, meaning nothing really exists in reality. So
True.
you
True.
simply you figure out
Good
how
point.
you want to organize it for your campaign. And Planescape is one way you can organize it. And
Mhm.
also one of the other things that I think you should consider is like how kosher do you want to be? Meaning how close do you want to stay to the regular D&D multiverse and so on, which have changed through the editions. It's another one we should say. And also different settings have different ones. We in Greyhawk have had it simple in that sense because we haven't had a special outer planar multiverse. We have just gone with the regular D&D is supposed to be Greyhawk, so to speak, kind of. And but then you have others who have more kind of been described. But in some interesting ways, both TSR
Mhm.
try to stay away from it for some years because that was part of, I guess, of
Yeah,
the debacle with the when you have all the backlash against demons and devils and stuff like that.
it's
And
true.
so it took a while, and they had to rename it, and then they came back in second edition, and then they came back fully in third edition. Then there was no holds bar, and everything just came back again, and so on. And then in fourth edition, they reined it in and tweaked it a bit. In fifth edition, it was kind of flavor more than structure, in my opinion. And then we'll see what we get in the future, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my general take of it. That how this is dealt with as a general topic has changed through the years, so to speak, and through the editions.
Well, for me, it always started back with, when you're a kid and like, wow, these are really
Yeah.
tough foes
Mm-hmm.
and all,
Yep. Same here. Yeah.
and then, and then, uh, lots of we did lots of subplot arcs, like a year or two
Mm-hmm.
ago, we did the Son of Orcus, in the Sus
Yeah.
Forest, that and we finished that up in a fundraiser. But we got remnants of that running around a little bit out there, and I just for me, I always keep it into. I'm not. I got portals and stuff, but I'm not plane hopping that much,
No,
So
and
yeah,
also that
yeah,
is a smart way of dealing with it because you can do it as kind of flavored, cool big baddies that you can bring in that are a bit different. They're resistant to things and they have weird magic maybe and stuff like that. And so that's one way you can deal with them. And you said they come from out there and they can be called in and they can lead things and cause mayhem, and that's about it. And you don't need to be more advanced than that. Or you can build a cosmology, religions, an outer world with fantasy physics and the whole 9 yards. That's the other end of it. And
right.
nothing is right or wrong. It's more
That's
like
true.
and meaning what tools do you need for your game and
That's
for your
exactly
play
right.
style? Yeah. And
It's,
so think of that, so to speak, meaning how much intricate world building do you want to do, or how much do you just want to do cool one shots or
it's a good
whatever?
point.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. So I think this is one of these topics that there are infinite amount of building blocks, but it's like Lego. Which building blocks do you want to use? And that I think is the way I want to look at it, so to
Okay.
speak. And I want to use more building blocks, but definitely not all of them, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah. Because there are a lot out there, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
options, and that's probably
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons why
Yeah.
we do all
Yeah.
these discussions is giving
Yeah.
you ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
thanks, Moose. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. All
And
right.
there
So
are mechanical building blocks and there are thematical building blocks. And in some case, you might want to use the mechanical building blocks, meaning you want cool resistances, cool tweak, cool effects that these big monsters can use. And or in some cases you want to have the thematical ones. They run a really cool cult with cultists and weird places you go to and portals that opens to weird planes and whatnots, but you might not want to use all the mechanics around it, or a mixed. You take a little bit of the mechanics, a little bit of the thematics, and so there are two sides to this coin. Is that like so often in role-playing games, you have the crunchy bit, meaning how do you deal with this mechanically, and then you have the fluffy bits. How do you do this story-wise? And you need to start thinking how much mechanics, weird mechanics do I want, and how much cool stories do I want?
so
And then you mix it up, your own mix, so to speak. Yeah.
not that recently, but a recent, it's
Yeah.
been like 8 years now because it was before we were streaming.
We're
Yeah,
getting old.
yeah, getting real old. It's crazy. Um,
8 years ago. Yeah.
8 year, yeah, before we were streaming, we ran expeditions to the ruins of Greyhawk, and I kind
Yeah.
of really liked how I'm not sure if it's Eric or whoever it was in that tied in um, a demonic presence into this, right?
Yeah.
So I know we all know, like, and we'll get to this. James Jacobs was
Oh yeah,
wrote the
he
Book of
he's
Vile
huge
Darkness
into
and
cool
all.
stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So but let's see if I go back and forth like this. But so if we go to all right, so if we go to page 32 in this and there's a lot of places that are set uh in this area. It's not completely done up with a lot of detail, but it's enough for you to run the game. So if you have, hey Baker, if you have this and you have Um, at the time, Living Greyhawk Journal Gazettes, that have Clarksburg updated and have Arsen Quarter updated, and you have Malden's map, then you're probably, that's just probably as up to date as you're going to have for Greyhawk. But there's some new, there's some changes here. So, and the one that starts out with this is one of the baddies in this. If you go to Temple Backup, and sorry if I'm giving this away from someone. Um, yeah, but Dad, it got a little better with Malden's work on it. It really did. Um, so you have here. Let me see here. It talks about Temple Backup. Now remember, Rigby has died in this the beginning. This is how the adventure starts. There's some other things going on, but Rigby has passed. He's always been so paranoid about IU's finding him because he's one of the ones that was part of the ones that went and released him with Robilar all those years ago, right? So he's always been on the hideout. And look, side quest desecrating Rigby. Well, here hidden in some, so in some sense, the forces of evil already have a beachhead in the form of Rianne, a young female clerk of Bacchus. She is in fact a Lolitu demon. What is that in third edition there, Jeremy? Is that a succubus? Marilith, named Lavashti, who killed the real Rianne and took her place. She serves as simulacrum of Igwolf. Yeah, there's a simulacrum of Igwolf running around too.
Yeah.
Currently investigating the dungeons below Zagic's tower. For now, Rianne merely awaits the arrival of Rigby's body. Her mistress was told her that she requires it for her final plan. Yes, so some other members like me are starting to relate more to Gen X and Boomers than to Gen C and Gen Alpha. So wait a minute. So if you're a millennial, okay. All right. Well, that tends to happen. So I'm not a boomer, but I'm a Gen X man. So
Yeah, one year too young to be a boomer, so I'm
yeah,
a Gen X.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right at the beginning of Gen X.
Yeah, I'm the first.
65.
Yeah, yeah, 65. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Wow.
I've been born 64 or from what is it, from
Yeah.
1950 to 64 or something like that, you're a boomer.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I don't think she's. No, she does have multiple arms. No, I'll see if there's a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might be.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So and there's a side quest where they're going to desecrate Rigby's body. I don't, whatever purpose that serves. There's a lot of Iusians running around in Greyhawk. Um, yeah. So and here, let's see. Yeah, and here, let me see here. Chapter 5. Okay, chapter
Yes,
5. Wrath of
variant of
Ius.
the succubus. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think she's a suck. Yeah, it's not the we. So, Tower demons born from the ashes of succubi who had sacrificed their lives to corrupt and destroy holy congregations. Wow, that's a mouthful. All right, so ashes of succubus. Wow. Okay. Cool. Maybe they're in. Wait a minute. Maybe they're in here. So what are they called? Lolitas. All right. Let me see if they're in here. See, look at this. I mean, I'm Levistus. Now that's archdevils. Just looking under types of lords of evil, blood war. See the blood war is mentioned in here. Don't see. Don't see it. Let me just type in Lolitus and see if anything comes up. Lilitus. Nothing. Maybe I spelled it wrong. So
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
the.
Not in the Book of
Yeah.
Wild Darkness. So yeah, they were a third edition monster. Yeah, I'm in the Book of Wild Darkness. I was curious if they would be in here, but it does not appear to be. No biggie. So they're somewhere. But what I found cool was, oh, this is a. Oh, we'll talk about that. Where'd it go? This is a different type of demon. All right, cool. We haven't used these. And yeah, she's mentioned 63 times in here, so we can find a lot of places where she is. Yep. So yeah, so it's her and they go down the lower levels. No, that's who they trap. Vexia, they trap her all over the place. They're working with Rachnian down there. So Rachnian is it's a Book of Fiends. Okay, yeah, Fiendish Codex 1. Thank you. They're in the Book of Fiends, which I don't have that one. References to Ed Stark, James Jacobs, Eric Mona, Fiendish. All right. Cool, man. Okay, from original. There, and by a different name. And Dragon 353. Cool. I don't know if I have Dragon 353 on my machine. I'll take a look. So she's a main antithesis in this, which I thought was cool. Just different. It was something I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and it was a tough adventure, especially when you have Igwolf running around, but it's really not. It's Igwolf, but it's not. And I like that little twist with it because then you couldn't kill off Igwolf permanently, right? You couldn't do it, and that was smart on their part. Because what happens if you let me check 353. I may have it. No, all right. I don't have 353, so we won't look. But all right, I appreciate you guys looking that up. Um, so yeah, first kind of demon. Well, actually, there's a second demon in here that drove us crazy as
Mm-hmm.
well. And I was like, I liked we never used before, and these are super nasty, and that's the arrow demon. Oh my god, how many people have used arrow demons in their game?
No, I don't think I've ever used them.
Page
Yep.
one. Yeah, let me see. Well, page 140. Tower of War, level 9, at the bottom of the Tower of War, level 9, at the entrance to your guarding the entrance to your favorite thing of all time, Anna. The thing you hate
Mm-hmm.
the most about this adventure.
The tunnel.
The tunnel where the
Yeah.
army's
Mm-hmm.
coming from Mayus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They were super painful to fight. Yeah, absolutely, Bill. Here we
Or you
go.
can make it a portal, and I will be perfectly
Uh,
fine with it.
yeah,
I would just do that.
here
I
we
would just
are.
say that just made a portal, so arrow demons.
Yeah,
Yep,
there were four of
100.
them. There were
Yep.
four of them. The pluses to hit and damage were disgusting.
CR7 is not that much, but yeah, but they're
Uh,
tough anyway. Yeah.
um, I think I was running them like they were all point blank shot.
Mm-hmm.
I was running them like they were archers, like the
Yeah.
archers I have, and they were just
Mm-hmm.
they were disgusting. So, but yeah, the arrow demons were in here too. So it's another demon. Um, spaceship crash into a certain mountain. No. Um, something else though that I was happy to see. It was different, because I'm running something in third edition. I'm changing it back to first edition. It's Greyhawk, and
Mm-hmm.
so there's some differences, some other demons in there. I'm not. Oh, okay. It's a Balrog. It's a Vrock. It's a Hezru. Live premium monster books increase monsters in difficulty. Okay. Well, this is a 3.5 publication because this is the last publication that they ever had, so it has to be 3.5. Yeah, and this is all down there. So there you go. Arrow demons, and look, they can dimension door at will too, which is really
Mm-hmm.
annoying. Yeah, fun talk,
Yep.
fun stuff. Hey, Burnkel. So something that I have memories for. I don't think I've used them since then. Yes, and that's the point, Jeff. So many demons, so little, so many. Yeah. No Sci and Fi in my Greyhawk. Spaceship destroyed. There you go. Dennis has Spelljammer ships, but no sci-fi. Isn't that a think about that? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Has three types of demons. All right. Three subtypes. I wonder why, Dale, but I'm not, so I don't have that information. But that sounds cool, though. It sounds really cool. Create an encounter day for the elemental node, order node that was inspired by the stream. Cool, man. Thanks. So no sci-fi in my Greyhawks, basically. Now I don't have Tim on. If you're bored out of your mind, you want to come on, you're more than welcome to. What's up, Curtis? Congrats on your win today. All right. So let me go here. The Warlock book. And what fun that was yesterday. But with that, I said to myself, Timothy Brand did it. Yeah. Yeah. No, Dale, no. 49ers play, the Bears play Rams. Yep. So okay. So gods and monsters that can be used. That can be patrons, and here we go. Demons and devils are in here. And
Which book is this?
this is Timothy Brennan's Warlocks book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is first edition.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is Timothy Brennan's The Warlock.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Yep.
as I was setting up the Warlock class for Jaden, who I'm played. Thank you, Savage. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see here. You have different demons in here, and I was like, oh wow, Timothy, he must have gotten them from somewhere, and I think I know where he got this one from. But magic items. All right, here we go. Gods and monsters. Now we're talking about demons here. So, and he talks about like there are many subraces species of demon, the Balsaraf, or the fallen agents of good, the Calibim, the Eodamons, the Lilim, or daughters of Lilith, and the Shaddim demons of rage. So, I really liked, and there's Pazuzu's in here. Sathaga's in here too, which is awesome for Frog God. So we did that. Here we go. Lilim. So Lilith. Anyone know where there's a big demon named Lilith? Guys, gals, anyone? Big
No.
demon named Lilith. Not that long ago. No. Is there one named there too? Well, I'm thinking Supernatural. Right? And the TV show. And Supernatural. Cheers. Yeah, that's it. Diablo 4 maybe, but so Supernatural. A lot of these references, I think he was a Supernatural fan too. So Lilith. So here it is. There's one other powerful females that can claim Lilith as their mother. Witches. Witches have made legends about their origins, but two are repeated again and again. So I'm like, good. I have a tie-in now. I could bring in a new demon lordess cult where she's not in Greyhawk, but her followers are, to create another cult, right? So I've already got Orcus, son of Orcus people running around. Everyone, does Lilith go back to Babylonian? Curtis, I don't think is there Lilith in Babylonian? I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so on that. Yeah. Yeah. So real world, it does. Yes, Joby, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct on that. Variety cultural references. Yep. Yep. It's old Hebrew name. And it goes way back. So I thought it was cool. And and I like that some witches consider themselves to be partial demons because of this. This has no effect on how the witch needs to be played, but GMs can impose the same penalty on witches as they do with demons. Weapons that harm demons have a similar, you can do all sorts of things. So I don't want to bring in a cult of Demogorgon in. I just don't want to do that. Oh, so I thought this was a cool way to bring in some more of these infernal, awful demon cults into Greyhawk, into my Greyhawk thing, and that's what we did starting yesterday. Now, a cult of these gals were all background was all taken care of by Jaden's character Ravulo, but that's all the demons they fought yesterday were all after him in revenge. So there. So just an example of, I got a reference. Timothy Brennan does great stuff. It's detailed, right? And then there are all these types. Now, the one was in Impusa. If you remember the one with the wings, I had two sisters, Tiffany and Brittany. So all different types of. Here's that Lolitu again, right here. Right there it is. So just like Lavashti is. Yeah. So
Curtis,
demon
damn,
goats
you're
upgrade
reading my mind.
and diabolic creatures from the vein of zombie. Well, that's
Yes,
she uses
I
demonic
have
trolls too.
the abyssal.
The
Yeah,
abyssal, yeah,
abyssal
yeah.
trolls and abyssal
There's the
goats.
night hag.
Yep, the my zombie goats. So the abyssal version of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here's the night hag that
Now we have some internet
that, they took out the
trouble
very
from that.
last one. What's that? You have internet issues? I'm sorry.
That was a little bit. I
Oh,
was
okay.
red here for a few seconds. Now it's a
Oh,
little
I
bit
lost.
yellow. Yep. I'm
I'm
back
dropping
again, I think.
frames. I'm dropping frames.
Okay. So it's in
Yeah.
your end. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me spell it right. Dropping some frames. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if we chop a little bit, it's stopped now.
Yeah. Now it seems to be stable at
2800.
so and so. Yep.
Yeah. No, it seems to be good now.
Okay.
Hey, Garner, what's going on? Yeah. So there you go. And all different types and subtypes, and here at Lilith is actually detailed in here. So now I have a new demoness. I kind of like that. I don't have to go, oh, well, I'm going to do Yinoog or, Juiblix, because we've used Juiblix before. I wanted to change it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. Still choppy. It should clear up there, Malden. I haven't dropped frames at 30 seconds. So, yeah. Just mentioning Orcus will, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yep.
it. So there we go. And there's still more types. Shadim, uh, and it's a good reference book. Just if you
Mm-hmm.
want, especially if you're playing first edition.
Do you have a link to drive-through or something? Is it available on drive-through
It's
or
drive
something?
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to Timothy S. Brannon. Could someone find it?
Yeah. I'll
Someone
see
find
if
it.
I can search
So
on drive-through
yeah,
here. Yeah.
yeah. We are in our play test now. I've run one NPC, a bad NPC of a warlock that they killed a couple of adventures ago, and now we have Ravulo, Darkmane. Hey, Mandy, who is a interesting character. And warlocks are pretty weak. You really have to find a way to soup them up just a hair. Hit points are really low, but they got some cool abilities. So, yeah. Oh, I got a hype train going. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. So, yeah, cool. All right, Jay, what's your thought on the endless? It's a good question. I limit 3 times per day. Great question, Dale. 3 times
I
per day.
didn't
Thanks, Darko. Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't get any hit. Well, let's see here. We have
Try his site. Hold on one second here. Let's go to
no, I tried Brandon, but no.
yeah. The other side.
Okay.
It's got to be on here somewhere.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, here we go.
And now I think I got it.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the link
Yeah.
right here. Yeah,
Yeah, I got it. I got
yeah.
it. Yeah, I got it. Now
No,
I
we can
saw
take.
the spelling.
I
Yep.
agree, Dale. I don't like that's too 5th edition for me. I hate. Yeah, you did. It's in drive through. RPG it is too. Yeah,
Yep.
awesome. And it's pretty cheap. No, Dale,
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
$5. Yep.
Arcane Blast
For
3
a
times per day.
PDF.
Charisma modifier to hit, ranged attack, 2d6. He used it once. Yeah, no, you're 100%. Do not allow it every round. No, it's not for the, if you're playing 5th and you want to have it that way, it's fine, but not for me. So, but yeah, so can't the deal you can't teach an old dog new tricks is false with me, as far as it comes to monsters and stuff. That's my point here. I just recently have added in a whole new greater demoness lord lady, who it could go real long term. So, but great point, Dale. That's why I don't allow the class in my 3.5. Why? Because of that repeat ability, or well, he hasn't made a warlock for 3.5, right? So you could convert it over, correct, Dale? He has not made a warlock for 3.5. He's made a ton of witches for 3.5. The invocations allow that endless thing to soup up. I got it. We can talk about that. Yeah, there's ways of doing it. But he's got better abilities than our Arcane Blast, especially at 6th level. So it's them exploring the idea of a caster who trades spell variety for repeated damage like an archer. Yeah, I understand. I just don't. When archer, you run out of arrows. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, man. we've had the witch in our game for, and Bill could, I say, I don't know, 15 years. But it turns into, maybe it's because of watching all those 2000 era Buffy shows, and I didn't watch it that much, but Charmed and all the other stuff that was out at that time, it was all, it was all this supernatural kick to it. Um, and we're all subject to a little stuff that's going on and out there in TV shows and other ideas for people. And I just, I think Tim's written stuff very well. I recall a video by Esper DeBar that echoes my feelings about infinite cantrips breaking the world. I hate infinite cantrips. That's why I don't allow cantrips. Period. That's why Tim has cantrips. I don't. I don't like cantrips. Not at all. Not at all. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it, man. See if we can someone throw us over to. Your choice of two. Um, I still have a signed copy of my Tarvine belt, and I also, I think last week it went overseas, right? And so I had to give gift certificates instead, and an old school, or I think I got the second edition version for the NAS's Relics game. So Jason Vey, that is. Tim and Jason wrote an entire TV based on those TV show tropes. Yeah, they did. They did, and I have the book somewhere. I have all those books. Yeah. Thank you, Garner. Appreciate it. So, okay. So, Anna, thoughts on like things new to you you've implemented?
First of all, I've looked to more than the demons themselves. I tried to what I did first when I started doing hawk tales,
Yeah.
I put in what I call essences. It's the life force, meaning humans have a soul, and dwarves and halflings have a soul. Elves are born with a soul, but then they can transfer to being a spirit. So a lot of our other creatures are spirit based, and then they're like Fae and others are spirit based. But then the demons and fiends have a dark spirit, so they are not fully real, so to speak. So that means that they are metaphysical creatures, and that makes them much harder to kill in that sense because their bodies are just manifestations. So you can kill their body, but then they still exist in some way, so to speak. So it's a much harder. They're much more resistant to a bunch of stuff. They don't age and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And they can also travel easier between the planes because they can project easier. So that means that a lot of them that you are, meaning that's why you can summon them. You can't summon humans normally, but you can summon demons, and because their spirit nature makes them summonable, so to speak. So they not necessarily come, and so that means that most of these critters from the lower planes that you deal with on the prime material planes are summoned or gated in or something like that, and that means that their benefits and drawbacks seeing from the fiend's perspective. The benefit is that they can't die. So if they take damage or whatever, they're just flung back, and their bodies die on the prime, but doesn't really affect them much back home, so to speak. They can just like, oh damn, that screwed me up on the prime. Now I'm thrown back home, and then so they don't take a huge risk of doing it, and that means that they are really nasty on the prime because they even if they die, it doesn't matter. So they can go really hard and tough, and they don't need self-preservation. So that's the positive side from a demon standpoint. The problem with being summoned in or gated in or conjured in or something like that is that you are a magical creature in that sense that you can be detected, meaning you can be sensed that you are something nasty from the lower planes. So you can be seen, heard, and clerics and others who can sense it, paladins, whatever, they can banish you, so they don't have to kill you. They can send you back without killing you. So that's the drawback. And so that was my kind of go-to. And even if you kill them, they also have ways they can linger and stuff like that. So they have certain effects. So if you want to perma kill a powerful demon, you have to go down there, or you have to lure them in person to the prime material plane. But if you lure them in person, then they are much harder to detect because they come more like a real creature, and they will be harder to kill. But on the other hand, then you can kill them permanently. So I wanted to play mechanically with
Oh,
stuff
go
like that.
fast.
So yeah, but that's me what I said before. You build in more building
Hmm.
blocks. That becomes a little bit trickier. But also in Hawktails, that is something that rarely comes into low level play. Meaning in low level play, they might find some minute little fiends that are summoned in or something like that, or they linger around. They've been so they can banish them or something. So and they be more like remnants of them or something. But once they come up in level and you have to fight them either for real or they're powerful, and then you get access to a lot of spells that you can send them home with, and that makes them easier to deal with. And you can also detect them better. But then you get into really high level play if you want to go after them. And then comes the big problem of dealing with them for real, traveling to the other planes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because then you stand out as a sore thumb, so to speak. So planner stuff and so on is something in Hawktails that is so dangerous that you need to be high level to get into it. And otherwise it's then, and also that the fact that you can detect them the higher level you get. And they also have they have other ways of communicating that are scary, because they can use their alignment sense to communicate in a way that you can't detect. And that's the scary bit. They can
Ah.
see and hear and communicate in ways that are undetectable to mere mortals, so to speak, unless you are high level cleric or something similar. Once you get these at higher level, if you're divine, meaning then you get these senses and stuff, you can get them. So it's more like an arms race. These critters have mechanical stuff that a normal mere low level mortal don't play with. And that gets scary because they can detect you, they can talk to each other, they can sense things and stuff in the pure dark, so to speak. And that these senses also get more powerful the closer you are to the abyss or hell or the lower planes. So if you out in the prime on normal plane, broad daylight, they're not that powerful. But once you go into an evil temple or something, that's when they start getting more. They get more difficult to detect them, and they become more powerful in that sense that they can see and detect things, and you can't see and detect them. So it's very much like choose the playground you're fighting them is really key, and then have the right tools. So it's something that they are introduced for instance, like now at Page, the characters will be fifth level. And that's when things like that can start being integrated a little bit. Maybe there might be some abyssal trolls or some creatures that are kind of abyssal-like, but not full demon and stuff like that. So those are things that I'm playing with and toying with
Okay.
in Hawktails. So there are a few more extra building blocks that aren't there in regular D&D. Meaning if you play low level and these monsters aren't, then no biggies, no different from regular D&D to speak of. But once you move up there and you start meeting these nasty things, there are more to it than in regular D&D. Yeah.
Malton says if their life forces cannot return to their home plane, they're dead forever. For example, if they're killed in space, it's not connected to the rest of the planes. My campaign has
Mm-hmm.
such
Yep.
isolated locations. I was trying to get
Yep.
them to elaborate on those
Mm-hmm.
isolated locations as an
Yep.
example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I have been in their spirit. That's why it's, and the same thing goes for gods, deities that live, because demon lords and others are like deities. So if they travel in person to the prime material planes, they're harder to detect and they're way more powerful, but it's risky because they can be killed. If they project in or let themselves be summoned in and stuff, then they are less powerful, but they can't be killed permanently. So they can be banished or expelled home or something like that. So with power comes responsibility, so to speak.
Yeah, Rakshasas are awesome, and
Yeah.
there's an article by Scott Benny. Unfortunately, he never got him on the show. That has
Mm-hmm.
noble and much more powerful Rakshasas than the standard one. I
Yeah.
know they lost their power in future editions there,
Mm-hmm.
but yes, Mokashkash is sealed off from the astral and ethereal, and so anything that
Yeah.
dies inside the castle is done, unless the life force can inhabit another body within the
Mm-hmm.
castle. So if you die in your own castle, you're in big trouble. There, the way I'm reading that, Dennis, Yeah, you are mean to yourself, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So thank you for the hype train, everyone. Really appreciate it. So that's an interesting. That's an interesting concept. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
early on, early days of gaming. Anyone remember like their first? Oh my God, that's a major demon or devil or extra planar that you
Well,
had
we have
early
Zuktmoy and
days.
Temple of Elemental Evil
Right,
was one of the early ones that for
right,
me that we encountered.
right, right,
Kind of,
right,
yeah,
right. That's it. So
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I Rick Sass is its own type for me. But yeah, so there we go. Exactly. So we got 123. The ugly Zuktmoy coming up.
Yeah, that the ugly type. Then came the
There you go.
beautiful Zuktmoy. Yeah,
There's Zuktmoy.
yeah.
That's the one that Rubbler banged.
Mm-hmm. It must have been the later version. Yeah.
I doubt it.
But in the Gord books, there is the
Marilyn.
beautiful version of Zuktmoy, and I couldn't even conceive of how that looked like until that French artist made the beautiful Zuktmoy. That was like that's the one that Gary described in the book. Oh, there was the ugly version too, and the beautiful, if I remember correctly. I think there were two. Yeah.
Yeah, Zuktmoy is very close to the fungal queen that we have.
Hmm.
Absolutely, Curtis. Yeah, it's only 2 months off for
Yeah.
Gary Con. So and the
Uh-oh, don't
return
say that.
and the return, yes, the Revenge of the Fungal Queen adventure. So yeah, Zugtomoy was the first one, and the
Hmm.
whole if you got her banished out of Temple of Elemental Evil, you could banish her for what 66 years, I think it was
Uh-huh. Yeah.
in there. Yeah, um, definitely. Beauty's Eye of Zugtomoy. Yeah. Um, but
That sadness, I think you're right. Fungus in reality are spore based. Yeah, I
yeah,
think so. Yeah, they use spores to
yeah.
to
Yeah.
to spread themselves with. Yeah,
But that was the first big. I mean, it came to a head going all the way, and it was 1985, right? Because we finished it in '87. I'll say it's summer of '87. We finished it.
yeah.
But it was, you know, as far as in a published source, I can't remember any real
That was
other
one of the
Loth. I
early
don't
ones,
count
I think.
Loth.
Yeah,
I don't count Loth. Loth is just not.
but
I don't know.
Loth is a demon too. Come
Yeah,
on.
but it's just.
What
I
what
don't
what
know. It
what's
just there was
yeah.
something different about her. It was like
Okay, but
it's not
meaning,
like.
but she's a demon lord too, or
Yeah,
demon, yeah,
supposedly.
high
Yeah,
up there.
she
Yeah.
was I found her completely weak compared to
Well,
the
yeah, but
others.
I have that as mechanical
Yeah.
omission, so to speak, in all the descriptions and all of that. She's definitely a demon, just like Grasset and Kustici and all of the other ones, so to speak.
Yeah, but early on they didn't even exist. Is what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
had they were that Monster Manual 2 ad. And then they're mentioned
yeah,
and they
yeah.
didn't
Dark Elf. Yeah,
yeah, they didn't appear in anything. You know what I mean? They didn't
yeah.
that whole first 15 years you didn't really see them except oh, they're in the Monster Manual. First thing you saw them was in the Show Camp supplement, which was cool because you're like, oh wow, they're going to use all these.
Hmm.
Because I don't. Is it mentioned in Showcamp that Drelsna is? Yeah, yeah, it is. It's mentioned there. So that's another instance where Grazitz captures, Igwolf or whatever. So it is
Hmm.
mentioned there. Okay, well,
Yeah,
there's another
yeah.
instance.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Dark Elf, that's cool. That
So
the fungus part of branch of life is really interesting and super diverse and really cool. That you have a lot of inspiration there for fantasy-esque stuff, definitely, and underused too, I think. Yeah,
once I get through this con and all, I'm thinking of if I have some free time, maybe playing the Temple Elemental Evil game again there, Malden, because it was
yeah,
redone and it's supposed to be a little bit better than it originally was and less buggy. So
yeah,
yeah. But yeah, so Grazitz is mentioned in Showcamp, but he doesn't make an appearance like Zooktomoy
yeah.
does. And
But
then good.
oh, sorry.
No,
No, I
go
was
for it.
going to say in the early editions, I think that that was cool to use demons and devils and stuff because they were things that were known entities and talked about before people played D&D. So they meaning now we have meaning Suktmoy is a good example, and Lolth meaning they have no real, they are manufactured for D&D. They're created for D&D, so to speak. They don't have a, they don't come from real world cultures, but
No,
the devils and a lot of the other ones, so to
they
speak, they
do.
do. But I like the ones that are made for fantasy, made for Greyhawk and stuff like Lord Sukhmoy and Ayus and stuff. Orcish and others are, they're still cool, but the problem is that there is a real one there that some people confuse or want, but sometimes, but I can understand because in some aspects I like the real world connections because that brings more chances of finding cool stuff you can use for your campaign, meaning there's more cherries to pick in that sense. But it's also problematic because if you go divert too far from it, and players and others might have a preconception of what Orcus is, and then if you run a campaign that Orcus is something completely different from what a player perceive, that might break the illusion or it becomes difficult. And so therefore I like the homegrown or the campaign grown big baddies, so to speak, like Loth and Suktmoy and Ayus and stuff that are specifically made for Greyhawk. Then they can be demons and devils in their own right, or
I
sometimes you don't know which one they are. Yeah.
I know a lot of the devils have the names appear in a lot of places.
Hmm.
Just another, whether it's another word for Satan or whatever. But like, is Demogorgon real world? I don't think so.
I think the name Demogorgon is probably real world from,
Really?
but I think, but there is I know that Greyhawk Rognard, he has a good video where he goes over all the demon
Oh,
lords
cool.
and stuff like that from the Monster Manual 1 and 2. He goes over them, and you have to go back a few years. That's like 3, 4 years back. So go back, but search on his videos, and he made a series of videos when he
Interesting.
went through the history, both the D&D history and also
Hmm.
Daddy Roll the One is a wonderful YouTube channel, and he goes over a lot of the stuff, so to speak. So he has AJ Pickett is another one. You can find his channel on YouTube. He also goes over D&D lore and goes
Interesting.
through these. Yeah, so there are several YouTube channels
Taught me
that you
something.
can go in that goes through the lore. And what I like with Joe
Uh,
Block is that he's more Greyhawk specific than the other ones, but on the other hand, that means that he might not talk that much about the generality of these things. So sometimes it's good to go wide, so to speak. But it's so there are several of them that are really. And then we have the Grey League, our own Toms, that's doing really good stuff too on this. I don't think he've done any specific ones about fiends and demons and stuff yet, but he's dived into gods and stuff. So yeah.
hmm, awesome. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right.
But I really like it that Greyhawk has a bunch of homegrown ones like Lolth and Suktmoy and so on that
Yeah, definitely.
are setting native, so to speak. I like that. And some of them have escaped out into the bigger world, like both Lols and Vecna have, and Vecna is now out in popular culture, so to speak, that started
Ugh,
back as a page or a footnote in the DM's guide, so to
yeah.
speak, and then was introduced in Greyhawk. But that just proves that they have they are viable, interesting, good creations, so to speak. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, it's in Paradise Lost. Okay. Well,
yeah.
good to hear. That or okay. They got the stuff. Yeah, the newest versions of that
Hmm.
temple
Yeah,
may be fixed. I haven't played it, so we'll have to see.
yeah, yeah.
So like um, I know we're talking mostly demons here, not devils, and not others. But I like the idea. The Rakshasa thing. I've used
Hmm.
Rakshasa. Dark Elf. I love them. Just they're good as far as or Dungeons. That's funny. Damn, we're ADA compliant. No,
Yeah,
very rarely, but even remotely close to being ADA compliant.
yeah.
Yeah, traps everywhere. Traps everywhere. So now I don't have this. This is one of the ones I wish I have in hardback, but I'm not spending $250 for it now. Going back to the book of
Oh
Vile
yes,
Darkness.
I have
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
hardback sitting
yeah.
here on the shelf. Yep.
First one with a
I like
warning label.
exactly, and it has a warning label. I need to buy it because then it must be good. Yeah. I don't think it was that good. It was interesting thematically, but mechanically it was a little bit complicated here and there. So in the beginning I loved it. Like I always love every new mechanic, and then I play for a while, and then it takes a while for me to realize that I don't like it. So yeah, but it brought in a lot of cool elements to play with. A lot of build Lego bricks to put in your mechanics, so to speak, and some cool stuff in your thematics too. But it's generic. It's not setting based. It's not Greyhawk. It's just generic third edition
Right.
vile stuff to put in there, like special damage types, a whole bunch of feats, extra cool things for all your character classes, and of course for your necromancers and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff, and I've gone through it, and I'm still absorbing. And 'cause time is limited right now of all the other stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
Just to bring out
Yeah.
some multiple other new things. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of options in this book.
Oh
You
yeah.
can get back, convert it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
If you mhm.
Dark Elf, yes. If you're using Infernals as a equivalent of lesser gods or whatever, of course they could grant spells to clerics, to their followers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't have a problem with that.
yeah, and that is something I think you need to think a little bit about, at least when if you start having clerics and you have players who want to play a cleric or whatever, and then you have villains who have it. So you have to kind of come up with the idea, are gods different from powerful demons and devils and stuff, or are just powerful demons and devils gods? I have it that powerful demons and devils are just gods, so to speak. It's that they're
Uh-oh,
gods
here
from that.
comes someone.
Okay.
Oh, the ever mysterious Tim is coming on.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's remove that. Oh no, he's already dressed. Is that how you're
You
dressing for a page?
you
When I'm
ready?
running my reverse dungeon, yeah.
All right. That's awesome. At least it's not a pot on your head. It's something decent.
It looks like a Roman helmet or something. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And one of the sides ends up falling off, which is perfect for a humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Yeah.
So good to go.
that's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go.
Awesome. Tim loves these things and these discussions because, unlike me, Tim, and we'll put out the Tim abuse emote here. He'll have them continuously gate in others of their own kind, and it'll become
Mm-hmm.
the point where there's just too many of them.
No, I don't do that.
For
Not
me,
too
that
many.
would that will be depending on where. Meaning, if you take them out if they go to a good area, might not be able to gate in at all. If you're out in the prime, it might be difficult. If you take them in an evil temple, they might have easy access to gating in like crazy. So that's one of these,
I,
and that they get more powerful in certain
I
areas.
also, it's a culture of power. It's all conniving, power, backstabbing,
Yeah.
getting up one. So if you gate one in, you kind of like owe them.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah.
are not eager to like, maybe they can call someone who owes them a favor, but
Yeah,
after a
they will
while,
not
it's
get
like,
in more powerful than themselves because that
right,
will just mean that they will get into trouble, but
right.
less powerful ones that they can boss around, so to speak. Yeah.
Except the Marilith, who can actually gate in the Lord, right? I thought, and the
Or
Yeah, but I would
when
say
you
that
gate one in,
yeah.
you're you owe them. You have a lot of
Yeah.
trouble. Plus, if you gate in too many junior ones, they're going to talk about you to other people.
Yeah,
They're going to
and
like
they might
spill the
take the
beans
chance
true,
to
about
true,
how
kill
you're
you
all
there and
true,
jacked
true.
up and
mhm.
we had to save you.
Yeah. And if they gate in, it depends. If they gate in a powerful one and that to put that powerful one on the spot to get banged by player characters, then that powerful one will kill the damn thing that gated it in first and then kill with the deal with the player characters afterwards.
Yeah,
But on the other hand, if the demon kills all the characters except one and then gating the major demon to devour the soul of the survivor, that I would see as a possibility because then the Merilith will simply give a favor to the powerful one to harvest the souls afterwards or something. So just to be real mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tim, has it been recent? You've used any infernals, demons, devils, any other type of supernatural creatures recently? Any of your games?
Something similar in the second, not the last city state one we did, but the one before it.
Okay. Yeah.
The
Well,
the critter you met on the island was not on.
I figured that as much.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Little more than just a sea hag.
right. But we're smart enough to leave her alone. Make the deal and move on. You know, did not want to have to deal with her and that what's his name? Was it Lucius? What's the half brother's name?
Lucius.
That Lucius knew all about her was even more disturbing. So yeah. So there are like bizarre connections. Like this is a book of Wild Darkness. The prestige classes, I don't even want to look at it to converting back and but maybe one day, like here's one, a thrall of Grazitz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Can you
No, I
imagine?
mean that's obvious. Grasset is one of the main villains in Greyhawk,
Oh,
so of
I know
course you
that.
need to have a special. That's like a specialty priest of Grasset. Perfect.
Yeah, well, it's a sinister, conniving, and thoroughly evil master of arcane lore and dark secrets.
Yeah, come on. That's great. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. There you
yeah.
go.
Meaning it's for yeah.
Yeah, this book has got some
I can just imagine what kind of
really bad, Jeremy.
cults Grasset could have. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing is like,
Hmm.
and like
Cool
not
ones.
right.
So cool that you want to be a member. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and that's why I brought in Lilith, and we'll see where that goes. But I don't want to overwhelm my Greyhawk world with too many, right? Too many evil cults. Here's another one: Thrall Dweeblix. Yeah, Thrall of Orcus.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The the
War
guys you met at the
priest.
swamp were very similar, very close to Dweeblix.
Really? Well, yes, I can imagine. With eating flesh and all that other stuff. Vermin Lord, Warrior of Darkness.
Slime. The
Ugh.
special sauce.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting book. It really is. Yeah, we don't want to go too much with it. So, you have okay, all right. We'll use stuff from this, but then this adventure, which is based off of that. This is what Dungeon 105 or
The
95.
porphyry.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. So this is 95. Yes, the Porphyry House Horror. This is an adventure. It's in Greyhawk, but it's in Scuttle Cove, so it's nowhere near anyone. If you, for us, regular special sealed Book of Vile Darkness adventure. Yeah, the poor Scuttle Cove is a weeping wound of evil and depravity, lurking in the filth is horror beyond imagination. Yes, warning,
But they
explicit
bill it
content.
that way when they lure you in.
Yeah, this is like I said, they started putting some warning labels on stuff in third edition, and then they decided this was not the way to go in the future. Yeah,
But I meant like a bad guy cult like that. They're not going to say this is going to be horrible. They like lure you in with, hey, you want to come to a party? We just like to have a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
yeah. I believe this is a house of ill repute
I
in
think
Scuttle Cove.
Grasset's parties are the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's Scuttle Cove, a den of
Uh,
thieves.
yeah, definitely the best parties, I'm sure.
Yeah, but this was run by Dungeon Meister. Look at how this, yeah, this just disturb. It reminds me a lot of like the Age of Worms level of disturbing stuff that was going on. And then a lot of this. So if I recall, in Savage Tide, don't you fight Demogorgon in the very end of it? I mean, and it goes up to 20th level. The Savage Tide arc, the last arc that they did. Yeah, I think it went all. And this is long too. Here's the. Um, but it's kind of there's Juan T running all over the place in this. All sorts of stuff. Yeah. Was it more profits though, Jeff? That's a good question. There's like that's like some kind of Demogorgon monster right there. Uh, can't regular evil bad guys be bad enough? Exact. Well, you can set this is an expounding. This is something that was actually printed in Greyhawk at the end of third edition. So Seven Tides features a return to Skull Cove. Yeah, this is a side trek So, but I know the following here. So, let me show the picture. This is how it ends in Dungeon Meister's game. Well, I think I have it here with his character Laura Lee and the succubus matron tricks her and yeah. So here, uh, there. It's a slaughter fest. There's dead bodies everywhere. Yes. So death and destruction. Everything is piezo wallowed in that and now scrambling to roll it back. Yeah, I know. Our Cyber game went on permanent hold during COVID as the GM moved out of state during the pandemic before we could resume flights back. We're now 90 minutes away. Ah, that sucks.
Well, I think it was not only Paizo, it was D&D in general, and third party wizards, they were times that were very open for
Look at this weird
the sky
stuff.
is the limit kind of for some years
Look how
there. Yeah.
disgusting that is.
Now it's going back again.
Yeah,
It was
that's
like,
a hard sell for a kid saying, "I found this great game.
yeah,
Can we get this book?"
yeah. But it
Well,
was like back
Kids
in the
play.
early days, it was like it got banned and yelled at for whatever. And then it came some years, then it was like anything goes. And now we're going back to it being yelled at again a bit. So yeah,
Your Worlds, thank
in
you.
some circles. Yeah.
Yeah, so like and that's the thing. Like a lot of us, if they had our
Yeah.
parents looking at that original monster manual, there was a lot of, or the Jesus Demigods book, especially, right? You know, but for us, there was no satanic panic with anything that happened in my
Yeah.
family. But like,
Yeah.
so yeah,
When your dad's your DM, it kind of nips that in the bud.
right, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
And then he also controls the themes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So it didn't
Yep.
go. It didn't go there. And I know G Dub asked this question. Um, when did he ask this? Was it Wednesday night or was it Thursday? He asked the question: Is it was it this bad when you're playing old school that it's all just about the sexual encounters in D&D in fifth edition? And I said to him, and he's a DM. I said no, it wasn't at all.
I think that varies from game group
Yeah,
to
that's
game
what I
group.
said.
Some were
that's what I
crazy.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
meaning I've encountered a couple of games in my career that I think gaming career that I think was bad, but only a few. But on the other hand, other players might have been perfectly fine with it, so to speak. And it depends on what your pressure points are, so to speak. And most of
Yeah.
it, but most of the games I played, and I played probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, and I've had maybe 5 bad experiences that I didn't like that much.
Yeah,
So
my mother was
it's not common. Yeah.
my mother was indifferent, completely indifferent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? I don't know who that is. SKR. I'm sorry.
Sean K. Reynolds.
Oh, Sean Reynolds. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
We're never proves our campaign never swung that way. Same thing, Dennis. We just wasn't about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't about that. I mean, the characters had relationships, but we didn't go into the graphic detail of it ever.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. The tasteful use of cutscenes.
Exactly. 100%. I got a cat begging in here. See her?
Oh, like my the Dark Hand adventure when when the guy said, "How's your morale?" Need a little bit of a morale boost.
Yeah. And that worked. Went on to another place. Okay, there we go. So there are a lot of other references and other guides. I know Dale said, "Oh my God, it's the first thing I thought of." I got to run. I think I've run one of these already. I haven't run all 3 yet. Here we go. This is an awesome book. This one's awesome. And it's got 3 adventures in it. This is 3rd edition era. Bill Webb and Clark Peterson, Demons and Devils. So really easily back converted. So, and I think there's 3 of them, right? Yeah. Sorcerer's Citadel, Ra's Evil Grin, and the Pit of Despair. Yeah. So there you go. Paladin Holy Sword one is amazing. Yeah. Brutal but amazing. So yeah, look at that. Sword of Kareth, +5 Holy Avenger Longsword. change such an item as one has a sphere of annihilation, one has a globe of art. I'd change a sphere. Spheres are too imbalancing. Yeah, I don't know what Tim how you think of it, but you just
Fear of annihilation. Yeah, like who has that?
it's at the end of there's like mini or major artifacts at the end
Well,
of
I
each
wouldn't
expansion.
allow that to be had unless the bad guy's using it.
Right. I would
Which
change
kind
that one
of
out.
Yeah.
I would change
Yeah,
that one out.
Dulwich, that helped me a lot too with learning English. Yeah. I knew what olfactory was when I was 15. That was my English teacher didn't know that word.
Yeah, Dark.
Yeah.
If I ran
Yeah.
that adventure, it's yes, of plot the free of petrified. I believe a type 1, the Iron Satyr. It's around. It's like a stone circle, and in the middle is actually a demon in the middle, if I recall.
I would dump the
Yeah.
sphere of annihilation in the ocean and turn it into a desert planet.
Yeah.
You're welcome. As I
Oh my
teleport to a
god.
different.
Oh my god. Can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. So, all right. So you got 3
Think
different
how
ones.
desperate people would get. It would really help your cult out if you're a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But would that be the way it would work mechanically? Because why
Sure.
then? Because it's not a black hole. So if you have a sphere of annihilation, it should be sucking all the air in.
If you put it in the ocean, it'll suck all the water.
What's the difference between sucking all the air in and sucking all the water in?
Well, air can off gas, and you can air gives a little bit more
Oh,
expansion, and you don't need to water plants with air.
yeah. I don't think it's. That's just my opinion that it would still be
Well,
static
it's
in the
a
water.
sphere that when it touches something, it pulls it in, right? I would say
It,
you could probably turn it on. You can rev it
like a
up.
light bulb.
You can rev it up a little bit, like a little.
Yeah. So Ra's evil grin there. Level 11. So some fun ones here for you to take a look at. Still available. It's on drive through. It's only $5.99.
Yeah.
Necromantic. Yeah, it's owned by Frog God now, which is
Mhm.
cool. It's a magic black hole, not a real black hole, so it can do whatever
Yeah,
the DM
Meldon,
decides.
that's it. It's fantasy
That's
physics or
it,
D&D
Malden.
physics. So you have to. The problem comes if it's not consistent.
Yeah.
If physics that breaks its own rules over time. So that's that. Yeah.
It is. So Gazumba is a widower because of a sphere of annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times. Is Jay writing this stuff down? Deep thoughts by Tim. No, because if I do that, I start going crazy writing Tim's thoughts down. You understand? That's how I get even nuttier than I already am with Tim
Why?
thoughts. Why? Because your brain is on different wavelengths, man. It's just not a bad thing. It's not a great thing. I mean, certain things that have happened over the last 40 years have set me in my D&D ways, right? Whipping feet off, all that stuff. So
Oh,
you
those
can
are
lose a hand without being pulled in. How's that possible?
You might just lose it. It doesn't pull you in. It's whatever touches it. It's not
it,
that.
it annihilated it partly.
Yeah.
Mm.
It doesn't pull you in, but if you put the hand in there, it will annihilate whatever you put in. Like
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, the hand went in past the event horizon, but the rest of the body didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an event horizon without the
Oh
gravity
my
pull.
gosh.
Yeah. But now we're getting deep into physics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, magic fake physics. I have a lot
Yeah.
of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
So I know we did one on witches and warlocks a while back, Tim. But your witch cults, what do they tend to revere, or who are their patrons in your games?
Well, there's a
Evil.
variety of nature beings, and they can be like the nature equivalent of a demon, an extraplanar sort of
Okay.
powerful spirit thing they can dedicate themselves to, like the guy the Great Hunt, or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
They may use different terms, but it just may be different manifestations of the same power. Of course, demons and devils, greater ones, deities, certain deities will, have a
Okay.
cults of or covens that are following them. Hecate is one of the ones
Yeah,
I
that's yeah.
would
Is
go
she
to.
Hecate or is it Hecate or Hecate?
Hecate, I think, is more proper for the pronunciation of Greek.
Okay, Did not know. All right, so but it's
My Greek is not that bad,
no,
not that
no.
good, so I can't really
Yeah.
say
All right.
one way or
Mine
the
either.
other.
That's what somebody told me.
Yeah.
All right, so the
Yeah.
cool. All
I
right, so
think Hecate is more like British, Shakespearean, and Hecate would be more Greek. I'm probably
Yep.
still butchering it then.
okay. So let me go here.
Uh, yeah.
So in this book, there's lodges for warlocks. So like here, the Dark School of the Scholomance, and so the Astaroth is a devil. So they have that as a as a patron, or as a not a worshiper, more it's more patronly, right? Because that's how it went in
Right.
fifth
They
edition.
basically dedicate themselves, hey, I'll support you if you give me power. So it's a cheat. The warlocks are basically cheating the system, to
They
get power
are,
fast and easy without the real commitment.
and he did a real good job making this up, because they can take magic spell books and scrolls, and they can attempt to write them into their lists, and then utilize them from that point on, which I think is really cool. Yes, with their no spell, and yes, so yeah, they're pains, man. They can be a real bear. But the thing with this is, all right. So the lodge and all the gods and monsters, they have as many options as you do. So I said,
Uh,
I said to Jaden, I said, let's go a little easier. I don't want so you pick two, because we're play testing it. And he goes, well, you don't care if it's like in another, what do you call it?
Pantheon?
Pantheon. Because I said no, because we used them all back in the day. So his patron is between the Midgard serpent. You like that one? Yeah, or the Master of the Hunt. Andor. Kind of good feel to that, yes.
Yeah,
So
sort of Celtic, Arthurian, Norse.
yeah, yeah. I said, I don't want you going to the demonic realm at all. So because I want them to be the bad guys, and that was the fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, this Lilith offshoot, we're going to work on that. We're going to continue to utilize that, and we'll see about the other ones. So all right. So here, so another one, there. Another one that Dale loves and Tim loved, would be, if you want supernatural in your game, put Dark Tower somewhere in Greyhawk. Right?
Near a desert-like place.
Yes. Explain why, Tim, with Set or Sutek.
Yeah, Set and Mitra, which
Yeah.
are they're using Conan, right?
Yeah. Mitra is Set. Oh, Set is too. That's who.
That is too.
Set is too. Yeah. Conan.
Set is, well, isn't that old Egyptian Set? Yeah, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But you
But
have
that fits in good
you
with
have the
Conan
sons
stuff.
of Set in that game, and you can make all sorts of mutated dudes and
It's like
deities in there.
Set is just like a lot of the old pagan deities. There's promiscuous with all sorts of things, and so the offshoots of that are
Yeah.
unpleasant
Very.
and varied.
Yeah, and a lot of them are throwaways that are just wandering the dungeons.
Yeah, but they're all nasty. Even
Yeah.
a throwaway one's nasty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But they can be four-legged, two-legged, multiple arms, multiple headed.
Oh
There's a
yeah,
variation table in that adventure,
yeah,
which is
like
really,
base of a giant with a snake head and
yeah.
just it's gross.
And that was all Janelle Jacquet's writing too, man. In the early days, that was awesome stuff. That was awesome. That's why I love that adventure so much. It's just so damn long. So Tulsa Doom, you got it.
Tulsa Doom. Yep.
Yeah, Tulsa Doom. Yeah, yeah. So we have Set, Mitra, and Crom in that.
I need to watch the old
Yeah,
Conan movies again. Yeah.
What is steel compared to the hand that wields it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Crum. Yep.
yeah. That was interesting. I think Sobek gets a stat block in one of those supplements. Hey, Blade. All right, let me see what we got here. Anna, what about you for us? Like things that you're thinking about incorporating, or old converting to new? I'm
Yeah,
looking.
I've looked at fiends are in Hocktails. Fiends are all the critters that comes from the lower planes, and then I have the obvious ones like demons. And I also use the name Tanari and alias, so to
Right.
speak, because I like those names. And devils, Betesu, so both I can use both. I kind of
Okay.
incorporated them a little bit both. And then you have the Gereliths, the Demodams, the neutral ones in between, so to speak. And then you have larvae or petitioners. They're the ones that special type of creatures, meaning souls and stuff, get harvested or
Night
shows up there.
hags.
Yeah, either that or they the ones that if you're evil enough then your soul travels after death to the lower plane, so you become a little worm crawling around being eaten,
Oh.
and you become part of the food chain, so to speak, or you're being harvested. And then you have what I call the
Oh, 85.
obriths. That's a term that I kind of half invented, or I don't know why. I took one of these name generators and for devilish names. And obriths are creatures that are native because devils and the other ones, they come originally, that descends to like a soul or something that came from the prime planes. So someone thousands of years died
Hmm.
or was killed and harvested, and eventually the remnants of that managed to get powerful and over times. But then there are creatures, obriths are the ones that are true native out there. These are things like yeah, they can all sorts of monsters. One of uh, top one are the oh, hang on a second. Now I need to figure out the big spidery demons, so to speak. We talked about them several times here. Hang on a second here. We have them. Uh,
We're not
oh,
running into them at Page, are we?
small ones maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So there are several. So I call them obrus. They are the the critters that are truly native to the lower plains. They began there, so to speak.
Retrievers.
They're
Wow,
and
they're
some of them
pretty
are more
nasty.
like plant-like. Some of them are more like animal-like or like insectoids or stuff like that. So you have the retrievers maybe. Yeah, but there's one that started out. Now I forgot. They are like huge spidery like demons, so to speak. They are basically the cows or the ones that go around feasting on whatever grows out there. So and then there I have certain forms of plant life and stuff that they don't suck up sunlight, but they do from whatever radiates from portals and stuff like that. So they become so they kind of um, yeah, there are all sorts of stuff that I put in the obelisks. And then you have the yegids. Those are the ones um, that are simply transformed into it by baleful transformations and various stuff like that. So directly done. So that might be some of the stuff. And I'm sure there are other ones that I haven't come up with yet, so to speak, but those are the main groups, and they function kind of differently. They manifest differently, and they have different essences. Not all of them, most of them are dark spirit, but not all of them. Some of them are more having a few others. They can be only, some of them might be more like ghostly creatures. They're only like a residue in so you have haunts and various nasty stuff. And then some of them are more like undead. They don't have living bodies and stuff, so they can be really nasty in that way. So bibelifs, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
bibelifs
bibulus. Yeah.
bibelifs are my obruths in that sense. They are special. They are not regular demons, but they are critters of or devils. But they live out there. They are native from that plane, and they can grow to immense sizes if they are fed well and not killed before, so to
Yeah,
speak.
they're pretty great. There's a pretty gross bill of mini salt
Yeah.
bloated and all. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
disgusting.
So those are so I have
Plastic.
them from monster from small size up to huge, so to speak, really big, depending on. And I also have it that Grasser has like a garden. Then he nurtures these like cattle because they're good because they eat whatever comes into the garden. So they're good to. The
Oh,
problem is that they tend to climb up on the his so he needs to have powerful warriors and others who can clear them so they don't climb up on his property too much, but they're really good gardeners to have in that sense that they keep the place clean. But you need to make regular sacrifices to keep them happy. Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
oh, I know what were you gonna say.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've tried to make them to have the building blocks so you can make them both mechanically interesting and uh, uh, story-wise interesting. So they function very mechanically, and some of them can, over their life cycle, transfer from one to the other. Like Bebelif starts out as small little things, and then they grow and grow and grow, and they change in how they function and stuff. So when they get really big and powerful, they can be
No.
easy to kill in that sense mechanically, but they're a lot of hit points and they have good armor and stuff like that. But when they're small, they are kind of they're hard to find, and so they live in the shadows until they're powerful enough. Then they make the transformation and stuff. So
Uh,
so you can have an infestation of Bebelifs, and once you figure it out, they can be difficult to get rid of all the little ones and stuff. So yeah.
Here is the concern level on this discussion,
Mhm.
Tim. Let's see what your thoughts are. So we know that when second edition, when From the Ashes came out, the IUs takes over a lot of places. There's demons running all over the place. And then Roger Moore, when he does his 2.5 update, goes too much. Crook of Ral, we're going to banish a lot of the demons out. Where do you fall on this in a Greyhawk setting or in any setting as far as how the balance you need to do with
Well, I think
this
that all the
supernatural?
major powers, when you open doors, it gets a reaction of the good guys would be sending people to do stuff too and counteracting it. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We can all influence the prime material, but you can't just open doors and pour everybody in because they're going to be like,
Right.
yo, your army's marching. Well, ours will march too. And
Mhm.
that's why I don't like that reaction of, oh yeah, demons are running around everywhere. It's like, if you get too present, it's going to draw too much attention, and
Okay.
that's you know, I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm not a fan of IUs anyway, but
I yeah, I'm kind of as a
Yeah.
GM or DM, I'm a fan, so to speak.
yeah,
But
well,
as
I
yeah.
think the Horn Society should have been the big bad, and they should have marched
Hmm.
over everybody and done everything because they're
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
chaotic evils. Just
we're gonna
But
have.
it,
I agree on
yeah,
that. I agree. I kind
yeah.
of agree on that. I was so pissed off when they wiped the Horn Society, but that is gonna semi be undone soon.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it, if in the
Yeah.
time frame that we are writing something.
But
So,
Jay, I think it's a great question, and it's
hmm
one of these that when you if
yeah,
you just run the old classics or you run adventures now and then, you don't need to worry about this. You put the baddies in there you want, and no
right,
problem. But
absolutely.
if you want to have a consistent world where you have big events and it's an ongoing bigger story, then I think you need to start thinking about it both thematically and mechanically. Meaning, what happens if can you open up gates everywhere and just have demons running everywhere and they will take over the whole thing? Why hasn't that happened, so to speak, and so on? So you need to,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, as your game is running, you can have stories from the front. Unless you're there,
Mhm.
it's all word of mouth, and everybody's making crap up and talking nonsense. And there's going to
Yeah,
be people telling deceptive stories and you're never going to, so if the players aren't there, it doesn't really matter.
yeah.
no, I
I
understand.
have it that there's a number of, it's a possibility that you can open gates in lots of places
Right.
and gate in tons of demons, but there are physical limitations to it, so to speak. Because first of all, someone needs to go around and spend the energy and the magic of actually creating the portals and gaining them in and stuff. And one way of you have to either cast powerful spells, or you have to create a magic item that creates these things and go around doing it, and that's powerful. Or you have to build a temple, get a bunch of worshippers and dedicate that, and then that can open more like a permanent gate. The first one is good because it's like a flexible way. If you are an evil cult and you just want to gate in a lot of demons, you create like an artifact and you go around and firing it off, or you're like a powerful cleric and you go around and spend your 7, 8, ninth level spells or creating gates that are open and you get demons coming in. But the problem is that demons might not want to come in all the time, depending on, so to speak, and so on, because then you need to lure them in too. and they need to be harvest. You need to tempt with souls, and if you start doing that on a kind of a large scale, that tend to be noticed because then you start committing genocide in an area, and that means that will attract a lot of alarm bells will go off everywhere. So then they will start sending a whole bunch of good guys after you and find all these things. It's like once you start operating an evil temple and you start throwing out demons out the neighborhood, then the good countries might start sending a lot of powerful whatever warriors and everything after you. So I see it as like a cold war, a secret war, an asymmetric war, or a full war, depending on, and it waves back and forth. And then you have the other side, someone like a powerful demon lord, and even they have like limited resources. They don't have unlimited amounts. So sometimes I think they need to go and raid for souls, or they somehow need to spread the message so they can harvest souls a little bit in secret here and there. So they want to spread their word. They want to make sure that, because the prime material plane is a source of power, but it also a risk. So because you can send your demons there to get slaughtered, or they can harvest souls. So it's like any campaign in war, so to speak. There is a reward for the brave and the skilled, but it's also a death trap for everyone else. And eventually, over time, you spread yourself too thin. If you send all the demons to the prime, then the ones from the higher planes will raid you down there, so to speak, or out in the outer planes. So it's like, yeah, because they are also there all the time and keep an eye on each other. So it's a chess game where you
Yeah.
want to spread your
So
forces everywhere, continuous war, so to speak.
where
Yeah.
are there, whatever, between 570 and 590, whatever, the end of third edition, where are there actual temples in Greyhawk that are absolutely to an infernal creature? Now, I thought there was one. Isn't there one in freaking Divers?
Rossis is a perfect
Well,
example,
I know
meaning
Roxas. Yeah,
if
yeah,
Ivid was he sold his soul to Asmodeus, so to speak, or
right,
to the hells, and so they basically, so there you can have tons of them. And
right,
and
right, right,
Hextor, I have Hextor is one of the hellish sides. So every
right.
Hextorian temple is a proving ground for the hell and their powers, so to speak. And I use this for Abyss and that side. So you already have that built
Right, but
into
not,
Greyhawk, in my opinion.
but like, I thought there was like one to a demon or devil in freaking Divers. Or am I thinking, or is
Oh
that is,
yeah, yeah. In the Gord books, there is a Nero as a temple, and that. But I think that most big cities probably have
no,
one,
yeah,
a
hey
few, or
man,
something like that.
not not not
Or at least
Neural.
some rich patron will have a chapel in their big manor,
Mhm.
you know,
Well,
dedicated to something like
yeah.
that. Because
I
they want to
also,
keep it secret.
You know, like
yeah, and
Beelzebub
oh, sorry,
was, Len loved Beelzebub. He loved that name.
Balsi, yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
loved that one.
That's a code name for yeah,
Yep, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I also see it that it's like extreme ideologies in the real world. They have lures, so to speak. They lure you in by giving you powers, and they tempt you with all sorts of stuff if you do. And they're always I'm sure there are people in Greyhawk that feel like, oh, society owes me way more, and they oppressed me or whatever. So I'm going to use whatever tool to get my revenge and stuff like that. And Irithnul and Nerul and others will use it. Death is tempting to seek for
Right.
others, so to
But
speak, and so on. Meaning you have all sorts of ideas and stuff like that, just like in the real world, but you have the fantasy version of them, so to speak.
yeah, but I was,
Yeah,
my question was a specific one.
yeah,
No, like,
with the
demons
Rukroral.
or devils outside of Rox's or
Yeah.
Ius. Like, is there a temple to Grazit somewhere
Oh
that's
yeah,
published?
yeah,
That's
I have it that
published.
not that published. No, Grasset is just mentioned here and there, but not
Like, all
particularly.
right,
No,
all
yeah,
right, like in
in
Old Horn
published.
Society, an Old Horn
Oh,
Society, for
oh,
example.
I want to have it that, but I don't think there's published sources for it. It's
Okay.
so vague that it's just
Fake
hinted
is
at.
fine. I was just curious if
Yeah,
someone had gone that route.
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
oh sorry.
There's some unnamed beings like in the B2, right?
And
Yeah, and they
what? Keeping the Borderlands?
Yeah.
yeah. And this also hinted many times that
Doesn't name what deity.
that Urflan had a lot of demon
Really?
cults and stuff like that. So it's hinted at, and then Horn Society was one of these outlets for that. So yeah, so it's hinted at without name, which I think is a cool tradition in Greyhawk, because that means that you can take that hint and run with it the way you want to, so to speak.
Yeah, Mountain. I was cool to who? I'm just kidding. So I'm just asking because I'm just curious as to what
Yeah.
direction a lot of other people have gone. I mean, I've been doing this thing where the son of Orcus had this cult brewing up in the Sus and was taking and turning people into
Yeah.
beastmen.
Yeah.
It was emptying the the slum quarters of Altamira out. People of so Orcus. Okay, well
Yeah. I
yeah,
have it
all right.
that Grasset was one of the Flan cults back in the day. It was their fertility sex uh, of that part, meaning Flans who wanted to have real good night parties. That was where
Return to keep.
Grasset was the one
Huh.
that was their god of lust, so to speak. I have it
Take a
that
look.
that was part of the the seductive nightlife of the Flan, so to speak, and or the Flan if you're seeing it from the Iridian side, because they have to give a derogatory term from their perspective, and then maybe the Flan kind of took it. But that's my take on it, so to speak. That Orcus and Nerul and Grasset are and Zuktmoy are originally Flan cults, so to speak, and part of the Flan pantheon. But that's my take on them. I kind of ran with that part. Yeah.
So you're talking about there, the deviltry outside so the hidden temple. Where in here is it? You're saying they're detailed in this. I don't remember that.
Well, in return.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm in
return.
return. I'm in return.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but I don't use that.
Yeah,
Return. What was
but
wrong with the first?
they're in the original B2. Is it the hidden temple?
But B2
Is it
is very
There's some
vague, so
sort
to
of
speak. Yeah.
evil
Yeah.
temple, but it doesn't really specify.
Yeah.
right? Last centuries of caves. So
And it seems sort
let's
of
Yeah.
diabolic and or
Yeah.
demonic. I don't remember. Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
so it could easily fit in anything you need.
Yeah. It's very generic, but full of cool stuff. Yeah.
So you're saying that in the K they actually say what it is?
No, I'm saying they don't. I'm saying that
Okay.
but it
Yeah.
seems
Okay.
easily
I
fittable.
remember it was like, oh my, Nurgle. Not not Nurgle from Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, but Nergal. Huh.
That's what they say.
It says Shrine of
Oh,
Nergal.
that's in return. That's in return.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nurgle is way worse in Warhammer.
Yeah, I'd say so. All right, so original just calls the Shrine of Evil Cat. Okay, all right, that's cool. There's a Black Knight in here. Black Knight, Kira the Huntress. Okay, neat. Hmm.
I was
So
just trying to think. I was trying. There's a number of adventures where they have some sort of hinted at old, dark, abandoned temple to something, and it doesn't necessarily always say what.
right. Nergal is a Persian deity. Interesting. Well, I appreciate that,
Okay.
Mister. I did
What
not know
about
that. I did not know that. So, all right, there you go. There just calls it Shrine of Evil Chaos. Yeah, which was very good for the time frame of being a what do you call it? A generic, good old school game. So, real like
I'm going to have to jet.
yeah, man. I appreciate you coming
Okay.
on,
Yeah.
Gotta
dude.
get up
See you
super
soon.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just putting out my stuff for this coming weekend, and
Cool, man.
looked at my watch, and I was like,
Oh yeah, you gotta get
oh.
up super early. Yeah.
So,
So note everyone, Tim will be DMing at Page and playing at Page. You're playing an Anna's game?
yes, I am.
Is that
Me and my
Friday?
son will be in Anna's game. Yes.
Yep.
Is it sold out yet, Anna?
Nope.
Wow.
Two spots left. Yep.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay.
But I have pre-gens for every spot. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so we'll see you over there, or and I'm having people here Wednesday night as well. So show you
All
that.
right.
It's up, But Tim, thanks for popping in, man.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Just
See you
have
soon.
have
Yep.
fun. We'll see you. Yep, see you in a couple days.
See you in a couple
All
days.
right, man. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye bye. The ever mysterious Tim, everyone.
Yep.
Right, and just to show, the great thing about Monster Manual 2 was it added others here to your daemons, a lot of powerful ones too.
Yeah.
A lot of powerful ones.
Yeah, they boosted the power level for
Anthraxis,
MM2. Yeah, a lot.
yeah.
I like the illustrations are really cool in
Yeah.
Monster Manual 2 as well.
I really liked the Anthraxis. That was a good one.
Called Infestix in the Gord books, by the way.
Oh, is that the name? Oh, they changed it from Anthraxis to that?
Yep, because he had to invent a new name when he wasn't at TSR anymore. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, she used them a lot. Yeah. Those are daemons. Yep, they definitely are. But they're extra, they are.
I have it that they're
planar
feeds,
supernatural.
so to speak, but
And you get the Demodons too.
Yep. Or Geroliths, depending on the name
Oh,
you
is that
want
what
to
they're
use.
called? Is that what they're called in future editions?
In second edition, yeah.
Yeah, TSR claimed the rights. I got it.
Yep.
And you got so let's talk about this.
Alu demons, yeah.
Well, let's talk about
tieflings or whatever. Yeah.
Well, that's where I want to go here. So, and this is not to set a fight up, but I am not allowing tieflings in my game. Right? No tieflings. But we have Aludemons and Cambions. And you're gonna say, what's the difference? Well, there's a big difference. I think the Aludemons and Cambions are actually a little more powerful, right? The Aludemons are they're 50-50. Elf demon, human demon. And there's the Babao we had yesterday. We had two of those. We had that yesterday, the Bar Lagura as well, and we had a Chasme. There's the Cambion too. There's a lot of Cambions and I use as forces. Not as many Aludemons, but a lot of Cambions. So I see a distinction between the Tiefling could be like whatever, a small percent of demon blood or devil blood in them, right? 10%, 15%. Holloway may be better. Art. Savage Tide, Demogorgon. Yep. All right. So where is that? Where are they? Demogorgon cult temples. So they're all throughout the southern seas. Then is what you're saying there, Alex, right? The Porphyry House Horror, I believe, is all a Demogorgon temple. I believe that's the whole thing about it. It's actually, a worshiping spot in secret to Demogorgon. Yeah. So, but you want pieces of heads tieflings which are more reasonable as a PC? Yes. Dennis, do you allow tieflings in your game? Let's see. He's as old school as me and as old as me at 46 years coming up. See if he allows tieflings in his game as player characters. Yeah. Because for me, no. Too far. We had owl demons. I would like them as NPCs, Cambions as NPCs, but I really don't want to go there with them as player characters. What about you, Anna, in your game?
I haven't. Cambion is one of the terms that I generally used, but I can see and I like it because it's a Greyhawk term more, so I just Cambion are like half demons, but then I haven't really had that many half devils or half something else. But so I definitely want to bring up other names too, but Aludemons and so on. But there are so I want to use all of the terms for different things, and I can definitely see there might be room for tieflings too.
Okay.
Maybe you can have something that is a little bit of fey and a little bit of fiendish and so on. That could be a tiefling. So yeah, or something in between. Meaning, fantasy have this enormous bandwidth when it comes to mix and match and come up with new cool stuff, because that's what makes it fun. So I can definitely see tieflings and cambions and aludemons and all sorts of stuff, but what I have a problem with the tiefling is not the mechanic and so it's the fact that they seem to be everywhere. Like every village, they can just walk around and
right.
Be seen.
Well, yeah,
that's the
So
I have the problem a little bit that everybody should be everything, and but you can definitely run a campaign that way, but that will have implications for the world. If everything goes,
Mm.
that means that everybody should be accepting of or be used to everybody. So it's a little bit too it's not the style that I want to run, but mechanically I have no problem with tieflings and stuff. It's more thematically in my campaigns that might definitely be tieflings somewhere, but I don't think the average villager in Furuundi or Nairon would be especially accepting if they see people with weird eyes and strange little horns protruding somewhere, saying, "Oh, my dad, my I was my parents came from some other plane somewhere." They will probably be very kind of stuff that meaning I want to have horrible stuff like racism and stuff in my games as evil things that evil creators do, and they are phenomena in my world, so to speak. And that is generally this is fact. A lot of the horrible stuff I don't want to have in the real world, I want to have them in my game because they create drama, conflict, and stuff like that that makes games interesting. So that's why I want to have it, but I want to clearly label them. They are bad and used by villains, so to speak. So, but that's me. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really putting off to see so many tieflings in Baldur's Gate 3. Remember that
yeah,
there's Forgotten Realms.
yeah.
I've never asked Ed because Ed stays away from stuff
Yeah,
that they've done
and
in
it
his
might not
Forgotten
be exactly
Realms.
that might not be Ed's Forgotten Realms, and just
Yeah,
like Forgotten Realms can vary from GM to DM to game, so can Greyhawk. Meaning, if
yeah,
you want tieflings in big cities or in certain areas or everywhere, you can definitely have that if you want
yeah.
to. It's just my advice is that when you put something in there, think about the consequences. How do they come there? How come they are socially accepted or whatever? And there might be certain areas or something. So yeah, there's definitely a way of you can accommodate almost anything in fantasy. It's just that with great power and variety comes responsibility, so to speak. So yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem.
And
Go on.
Celestials go the same way.
Yeah,
If you start looking like something that came from the upper planes, people might be
yeah,
scared of you too. Can you read minds? Can you can you do all sorts of stuff
yeah.
that are scary, so to speak? And people might shy away because oh they might have dirty thoughts, and we don't want that to yeah. So whatever. So they people might be scared of them too, just like they're scared of the other ones. Meaning my Greyhawk there, people have different opinions about stuff like that in my Greyhawk world, just like people have different opinions about all sorts of stuff in real life. And I think that makes games more interesting if the world is diverse, both for good and bad. Meaning we need, in my opinion, a campaign needs bad stuff for to be interesting. And it
That's
also need
funny.
good stuff and a mixture of it. So yeah.
So I remember the first time I ever had anything to do with a tiefling,
Yeah.
and that was my favorite game,
Hmm.
computer RPG of all time,
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 2,
Yeah.
because they had Air Dalis in there. If you all remember him, he was like a blade, which was a type of it was like a combat bard, right? Because they had a lot of kit use in Baldur's Gate 2, which made it awesome. But yeah, he was the first ever tiefling that I ever came across, and I was like wondering if that was going to be like rampant prevalent or whatever. Now, yeah, Planescape there, Jeremy, a lot of it. For me, if you're running a game that's homebrew, hey man, and there could be tieflings running all over the place, right? Hey, it's your setting, it's whatever. For me, it feels wrong. It just feels wrong at Greyhawk.
Yeah,
Um,
but oh, there's one other
yeah,
aspect I think is important
yeah,
in this because for some people, role-playing games is
yeah,
having cool mechanics. My character can do cool stuff, have cool weapons, cool magical effects, and I
right,
want cool monsters with cool mechanics. That's it. Meaning, for some people, the game is not about how the world works or politics or fantasy physics, whatever. No, I want cool weapons, cool spells, cool special effects, and I want to kill cool monsters. And get the XP. Meaning that's a perfectly valid way of
sure,
playing the game. Or you can be the complete other way, and I want deep world building, huge deep stories or whatever, and then I want a little bit of mechanics on top. And tieflings might be really cool just to spice things up in if you're on the mechanical side of things. If you want cool mechanics and you don't care that much about stories, you run adventure paths or you run pre-made games and modules, and you don't care about how they're connected to the world or who killed Thrommel 300 years ago or not.
Mm,
That might mean that you're not interested in that. That's one perfectly valid way of playing. But on the other hand, then you can have deep world building, huge politics,
right.
the multiverse or whatever, and then tieflings might be an asset or a huge
Yeah.
problem depending on, so to speak. And then most of us are somewhere in between on that spectrum from one extreme to the other, so to speak. And that's one other
Okay.
aspect I think we should, because some people they discuss tieflings purely from a mechanical standpoint and others purely from I don't want things with horns that have parents that came from the abyss running around in every village. And others say, well, I don't care where they come from because they're cool. They have cool effects and they can be cool classes and whatnot, so to speak. And then there's somewhere in between that I like the classes and the mechanics, but they might be troublesome in stories, so I have to kind of work around it somehow. And I think it's good to be aware of that continuum in playing role-playing games from mechanical that sees it as a cool war game kind of cool games mechanics and others who are so into fluff and story and world building and stuff.
It's definitely a direction you can take.
Yeah, you can go in either way, or you can
yeah.
you can be meaning when I'm running my games, I'm more fluffy story, whatever. When I'm playing, I can enjoy playing. Meaning, I'm not sure I will actually like being a player in my own games. I'm not sure about that because when I'm playing, I can play in. I'm much more diverse in when I'm a player than I am as running my games. Yeah,
Mhm. So, almost fortunate. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Have 11 years from their ancestors. Just some interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and
very, very interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to bring them into.
yeah.
There really
Hmm.
is.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think that's part of the strength of the hobby is that there are so many different ways of playing and
yes.
new ways and flavors are being invented too, which I think is another cool thing with it. Meaning some people love to play the way they did 40 years ago and it's fantastic. And others, they want to invent a new way of playing every 5 years because they get bored and they want to change things.
Well,
And
yeah.
both ways are great. Yeah. Hmm.
I always am trying to create new challenges, ideas,
Yeah.
for my groups,
Yeah.
thinking that that's want to keep it fresh, but
Hmm.
using a 1e2e rule set.
Yeah.
I just don't want to change out that. It would just
Yeah.
not make sense for me. And so this thing with Tieflings, we had this issue when Ars Arcana came out in '85 on Dark
Uh-huh.
Elves.
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah.
Elves, Deep
Hmm.
Gnomes, they're all
Yeah.
Durgar. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my
Yeah.
god. So, and we allowed some, and others we didn't. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And some people just love to play them because they had cool effects and cool features and
hmm
abilities that normal characters didn't have, other
right,
characters didn't have. And they didn't care about what the people in the next door village next door thought about them. They
right.
wanted to play this because it was cool. And some DMs probably were, oh, it's cool. I want to have it.
Rock
Or
Elves.
and all of a sudden you had half a village full of NPCs who were dark elves because that was cool or something. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stagnation,
rock
boredom, or
elves.
the
Yeah.
demise of
Hmm.
any game. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true,
Yeah.
Jeff. So true. Um,
Hmm.
all right. So, what questions do y'all have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because let's see. Hey, Jeremy, my newest character, geez, I felt Caldwell kind of envisioned that. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Goblins are orcs are not nice. That's just perfectly. Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
I agree. Any other questions about this topic and stuff? We did start a hair early into 8, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
And we
burning out
didn't
a little
get
bit here.
into
Yeah.
devils much, but that's
No,
another.
but
Yeah.
that's all
Hmm.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
just talking
Yeah. Hmm.
about the campaign direction is where I wanted to go. There's a lot
Yeah.
more demonic published source stuff. There
Hmm.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do recommend read the Gord series because that was I think one of Gary's best strengths, and because they're not literally masterpieces, not even me who doesn't speak English as my native language can see that Gary was probably not the most engaging writer to read, so to speak, his text. But I think one of the best parts of his writing were the abyssal, when you go to Grast's demon court and stuff, and all the goings on. I think that was one of the best parts that I enjoyed the most in the Gord books. Were And it's not in the first book. It's in the starts in the really starts in the second book, and then it goes on, and then it's not so much in Saga of Old City, but in the later books, there's tons of that cool stuff, so to speak. So you get to see Gary described all the demons and their
Oh,
squabbling and stuff like that, and which I think that was one of my takeaways from those books that were really really cool.
yeah, the Gensai, I really stay away from that. I do. I know that's a fifth edition thing. I don't see where that.
Gensai.
Yeah,
Hang on
yeah,
a second.
where they're, right, with all the elements, elemental touched, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah. That to
yeah,
me is too mechanical for me
yeah,
for to really enjoy it. It's like you make a dragon for every
Genasi. I'm
whatever.
sorry,
Yeah,
yeah, I just,
yeah.
meh,
Yeah, I can see it. And
yeah,
again, if you are more on the
yeah, Planescape,
mechanical side of things, I can see that as being really cool, so to speak. You can use all sorts of fire effects or wind effects or whatever it is. That I think that mechanically, I think it could be really cool. But to me, that's a little bit stereotypical if you're just all about fire and nothing else. And now I need to talk against myself, because in Hawk Tales you can really specialize in one niche. If you want to be the really master of pyromaniac, so to speak, you can if you want to. Yeah.
yeah. Well, Savage, that's the thing. I don't want to planescape my Greyhawk, but I want to
Yeah.
implement the old original devils and demons and daemons
Hmm.
and night hags and all that other stuff, which I've always had in my game since I was a
Hmm.
kid. So that's the kind of the point of the discussion here is that
Yeah.
where is it that you're going to go too far? Because you can go too far. But I don't want to, it's always a matter of balancing everything out. So cultish way with these witches and warlock cults is enough for me. It's not like oh, Tharizdun's now been brought to Greyhawk. No, I don't want to go there. Tharizdun, keep that Forgotten Temple of Tharizdun and the cultists up there. That's it. I do not want Tharizdun temples popping up all over my Greyhawk. If that makes sense. Yeah, Demodons too. Yeah, Kurs, I love Demodons too.
Hmm.
Yes. I don't have any spell. No, Malden has a lot of it, which is fine. His game's a little different than mine. They do a
Yeah.
lot of spell jamming. For
Yeah.
me, it's not.
Slots are one of these things that I really, when I saw,
Yeah,
was it
slots are cool
Star
too.
Wars? It was one of the Star Wars movies when the most hated character with the flabby ears and stuff. His kind that he was expelled from, they look like slugs to me. And after that was they're so cool, but I never managed to have them in my games. But they seemed really cool, completely chaotic, crazy. Yeah.
Wife, wife in robe while we're live. Ah, yes. So there you go. Yeah, the cat's in here hanging out with me. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's a good question. Use what you want
Jar
or
Jar,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks, yeah, the planet where he came from, those reptilian kind of weird, they looked a bit like the Slads, and I was like, wow, they look cool. That they, yeah, but I never used them, but Slads seems to be really cool, so I should use them in my game sometime. So yeah,
It is a rare cameo. So just don't use Modrons, Anna, please.
no, I don't like Modrons at all. They kill my fantasy vibes. When you have a 2x4 with eyes and stuff like that, that's a bit too much for me. Yeah.
So, Dargolf, I look at it this way. All my new players, they accept the basis of rules that I've set forth with them. Here's the set of, I call them races still because I'm old and I'm not going to call them species. Okay. Races and classes. Here's the list. Let's figure out a character for you. And it hasn't been a problem yet. You know?
Hmm.
So But so far so good. And we'll just keep it up. Modrons are awesome. Sam, you must be smoking something, you know. I'm not fighting a 2x4. uh, or yeah. Of course, I had a player who played 2 awesome Rogue Modron PCs. I can't even imagine that campaign there,
Yeah.
Sam. And good, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 2 of
But
them, not one
but
but two.
it's like the turtles and the little cat people and the
Yeah,
little
I know.
whatever.
Yeah,
Meaning, for me. But on the other hand, if I start playing the game when I was 10 years old, I'm sure I would have loved the turtles and the little cat whatever something and the little will-o-wisp
yeah. To
windy
each his
thing
own, Jim,
and
on
stuff.
that.
Like, so
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm
yeah.
definitely yeah. I call it ancestry as well in Hawktails. I like that term. I was thinking about kin as a term too, but I'm going to save the kin for some other special features, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I like ancestry because it sounds more species sounds a bit more sci-fi to me. So
Does.
and real world real world science.
Yeah.
So I like the term ancestry because it's kind of neutral and yeah. So I'm gone with that. Yeah.
I don't think erasing a game term, and you don't need to have this argument though.
No, but
Is
yeah, but
derogatory. It's just yeah,
exactly. But I can understand why a lot of people don't like the term. So that's why I realize I can just in Hawktails I can just call it ancestry and be done with it. So yeah,
yeah. And Jeff definitely, and all good.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's the great thing about the game, man. Everyone
yeah.
gonna play it a little differently, and everyone's got a little
Mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah.
You know, so just when let's hope something Ann and I are working on, you're going to see a grittier Greyhawk going back to the early days. So just note, you know, good things. Lawful neutrals being, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Hunter Mike, it's cool, but it doesn't serve a purpose in anything in a Greyhawk setting. Maybe in Planescape it does. I mean, the Mojo March thing's kind of funny,
Yeah.
but like, does it serve a purpose in Greyhawk to have
Yeah.
to have two by
But the
fours running
cool,
around?
yeah, but the cool
You know what
thing
I'm
with
saying?
fantasy is that the
Yeah.
sky is literally, or not even the limit. You can go beyond it. So,
Right.
so,
Sure.
so, yeah. And
Right.
again, whatever you, if
Whatever you
you
decide.
and your players having fun, then you're doing it
Yep.
right, so to speak.
That's
That's my
that's the most
general
important
rule.
thing, and
Yep.
that's we
Mm-hmm.
always say that in our discussions
Yep.
that it's
Yeah, but it's like
and
gunpowder. Some people love to have gunpowder in there and they want to mix genres, and I
mhm,
don't.
right.
Yeah. And some
No, good
people
point.
do, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. There's a
And
lot
and
of
I'm not even consistent because it's like I don't like dinosaurs in my game. But if you call that instead of saying a Latin name, a Bronto,
right.
whatever, Saurus something, if
Yep.
you call it a sand lizard, I'm fine. Then I'll be like, oh yes, it's awesome. So I'm easy to fool in that sense too. It's just yeah.
Yep.
So I know that my kind of uh, hatred of something goes skin deep at times. So yeah,
So all right. Great discussion tonight. Get me back into the gaming stuff here
yeah.
because I got a lot of prep work to do stuff for Paige. So I got all day tomorrow. I got after work tomorrow and after our discussion tomorrow and Tuesday to get that all done. So and I did a mass cleaning of the basement coming up for
How can you have
Wednesday.
time? How can you have time for that? We have a con in a few days.
I did it today, this morning.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm
Well,
going. I'm getting up early, so I went up like
yeah,
4 a.m. this morning, so I'm
yeah,
getting to ready for Eastern time. So yeah.
cool.
Oh,
So
thank you. Yeah, thank
Anna,
you.
you're not gonna have any streams at all for a while after,
No,
right?
exactly. No
Yeah,
streams more than in your basement. And I've said
right.
Friday that I will on Friday I will not have a Friday stream this week, and
By the way,
then no Gabbin because I'm on my way home. Yeah.
Tony and Jeremy or Rob or whatever, they're going to take you right up to Oaks because you have room for Wednesday night because you're VIP.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yep.
yep. So
Perfect. That's great. Yep.
yeah, yeah, man. I know it's a lot of stuff. So all right. So this is
Yep.
what's going on. 2 streams this next upcoming week. One is they're both Gabbins because technically this is a Gabbin the hangout. So Wednesday night here in my basement, just like last year, the basement hangout pre-page. Tony and Jeremy will be here. Rob, Phantom and Jay is going to be here. Bill and Mr. Crafter, Anna, and so I know Chuck's not on, so I can say this. So I said, Chuck, how many people are coming from Troll Lord? His answer was between 0 and 4.
Yeah. So I
Like,
think it's more like 0 or 4 because either they
yeah.
make it or they all of them
Oh,
come. So yeah,
great.
or
That's a great.
they
I can
yeah.
really. I got a 12 pack of Dr Pepper in my fridge. So
Oh,
Stephen
you
better.
ready? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready. So
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Definitely. So we're gonna have that. We're just gonna be hanging out in the basement. Doubt there won't be any playing or anything like that. Highly unlikely. But I got food coming and drink and stuff like that, so we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that'll be Wednesday evening, and then I'm not streaming it all at Page. Just gonna I want to enjoy it. My son's coming up Thursday, late Friday, and staying with me, and then he's playing my game Saturday, and then we'll do some stuff, and I'm probably gonna depart late Saturday night because
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
decided the gaming, yeah, I'll be burnt out by then. But
Oh
that'll
yeah.
be so I'll be home Sunday.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah, it'll be
events
fun.
on Sunday and I'm
Uh,
flying back home, what is it, like 4:30 or something like that? So I
okay,
will be around the convention until about noonish or so, I think. Leave
cool.
for the airport 11 noon or something like that.
Plus,
Yeah.
there's rumors it's gonna snow again. It snows every year at this time.
Yeah, I
We don't get.
remember last year we sat like an hour on the taxiway
Yeah,
getting
you
out
guys.
because the airport was about to close, so every
Right.
plane was scrambling to get out before they
Ugh,
closed. So we were sitting 100 plane were lined up on the
yeah.
taxiway. Yeah,
So, but next Sunday, Ed's on. We're going to do local towns, lore, and personalities of Greyhawk and the realm. So we're going to go small.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
I was like,
Yeah,
so, Ed, you must have some small towns with some cool stories in it. He's like, yeah, I do, and he's going to create some too for us for
yeah.
Greyhawk, and then we'll convert that into another. If Sam and Dewey Carthan get a move on and get that publication out then for Greyhawk Journal 3. We'll have another article. So um, you could be tied Mojin to H.P. Lovecraft. Oh no. Hey, who am I to talk? I have Murlocs in
hmm
my world.
Yeah,
So yeah. So that's it. So that'll be the only 2 streams this upcoming week, Wednesday and Sunday. Because now we don't have to worry about the Eagles playoff games anymore. So we're good. So we don't have to worry about that. So let's do yeah, but it only always comes when Page. It doesn't. We don't get snow any other time. It's always during that weekend, no matter what weekend it is. It's just bizarre.
yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah. Understood, Sam. Let us know. Let me know. All right. So let's see. Exclamation point drawing. Get in. Classic D&D reprints. All right, and I can get this out in the mail if you're continental U.S. tomorrow. All right, and if not, um, if you're not, then we'll do Troller Game gift certificate. So yeah, it seems snow one day of Gary Con. You're absolutely correct there. Yep. Here we go. Closing it out. Winner is Lord Fourth. Grats.
Awesome.
Grats. So here you go, man. Tarvine belt signed
Congratulations.
by
Yeah.
me and Relics and Ruins. All right. I think I have your address, so I'll get that out to you tomorrow. Beautiful. Grats. All right, we're gonna rate the Marquee Gaming tonight. Drawings on one. So Anna, thanks for a late
Oh, thank
start.
you. Yeah.
See you all Wednesday for a fun
Yep.
one.
Yep.
So there's a really cool restaurant, Italian place called the Apollo's, not far from where my wife works. Picking it up, family style, getting like a half
Yeah.
dozen chicken
Awesome.
parms. Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
lots of good food. It'll come. It's a big pack, so we get it there when we having people over. Um, he probably rates things to scale 5 to 7. I know I'll see a lot of you there. Qualdroma playing in my game. Rob playing in my game. Alex going to be there. A lot of other people. It's going to be a fun time. So we'll
hmm
see you all. But we'll see you all Wednesday night because we'll talk about things. Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Sorry you can't
Yep.
make it, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun time. Hopefully. So all right, here we go. Setting the rate up. I'm burnt. So why isn't it going? Here we go. Say hello to Rachel and Mark at Marquee and tell them, give them a follow if you haven't already. They're playing my game when they're able to, and they're really good people, and they'll be at Gary Con too.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
Righty. Nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night. All right.
Yep, popped over 69.
Awesome.
Yeah, good.
Very cool. Just make sure everything else is off.